Welcome everybody to the Dorchester here in London. A huge turnout, and rightfully so. It's a press conference I thought we'd probably never see, to be honest with you. But it's one I'm hugely excited about. Amir Khan will return to action live on Sky Sports, April the 21st at the Echo Arena. He signed a 3-fight deal with Matchroom Boxing and Sky Sports Boxing, and we are delighted to have him back boxing in the UK. It's been nearly 5 years since he last boxed in this country. One of the biggest stars in world boxing, back at a time when British boxing is booming. Last time he fought, British boxing was in a good place. Now, we're kings of the world, and the king is back. And April 21st is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be moving towards some of the biggest fights in the division. It was great to sit down with Amir over the last couple of months and weeks, and particularly to find out the desire that he has to become a champion again, the desire he has to fight again. And away from the fun and games of some of the best TV viewing I think we've seen in recent years on I'm a Celebrity, the desire is to win titles. The desire is that he is a fighter and he wants to be back entertaining British fight fans, and he'll be doing it live on Sky Sports. I'd like to pass over to Amir Khan to say a few words.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for being here today. Thanks, Eddie. It's just great to be here, you know. No one ever thought me and Eddie are going to be sat on the same table. Probably up against each other, but not being in the same team. But you know, we decided to put everything behind us and move forward. Eddie, in my opinion, is the best promoter in the UK. I want to start fighting the UK a lot more now, and it's all about being with the best team. This is where I belong. I started my career off in England. I want to come back here now. I've had my last few fights in America. My last couple of years I've been up and down with, you know, having the hand injury and everything going on in my personal life. But now it's time to put that behind me and, you know, become a champion again. And I can't do it on my own. I need a team to do it with. I've got my father still with me, you know, making sure he's going to work with Eddie and do things right. We've got Sky, back on Sky again. You know, I've had some great times being on Sky television. I had one of my best performances on Sky when I fought against Maidana. So it's great to be back with them again. Adam's been a long-time friend. We've always kept in touch. But I just think being sat here with Eddie, you know, with all that stuff that used to be said between us both, this must have been a big shocker for everyone. I'm not even seeing the backdrop yet. Let me have a look. Yeah, because we wanted to hide that. We don't want to show you guys the backdrop. But look, I am happy. I'm really excited for the next couple of years because this is the best time of my career now. I'm at the peak of my career. I've got the best fights ahead of me, and it's time to now come back with a big bang. It's been some time. I'm feeling fit and strong, and I can't wait to be back in the ring. April 21st, Liverpool. That's what we're looking at. So let's make it happen. Thank you guys for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Amir. Over to you, Adam. I know possibly one of the biggest Amir Khan fans out there, and delighted pushing us to get this done, and a great addition to the calendar for Sky Sports.
I've been telling you for a long time, haven't I? 2017 was a wonderful year for boxing, a breakthrough year. I think 2018 has got off to the punch-perfect start. Amir Khan back on Sky Sports. I've waited a long time for this. As you said, the fights with Marcus Maidana, the great nights we had back in the early days, even with Marco Antonio Barrera, Dimitri Salita, that wonderful performance against Andreas Kotelnik. And we last worked together for the Devon Alexander fight out in Vegas, which was a great performance from Amir, and some lovely food afterwards, Shah, for you and the guys. It was a really good experience, and since then, of course, we've kept in touch. We've watched with interest, and we're delighted to have Amir back on Sky Sports. He's thrilling to watch. He has the sublime skills, that occasional bit of vulnerability that adds to the mix. And of course, he's back in the same stable now as Kell Brooks. So there's so much to look forward to. The welterweight division, the light middleweights, all around that area, both domestically and internationally, is packed. He's a massive name. He's a great guy, and I'm really, really pleased to have him back on Sky. And I know the whole team at Sky are thrilled with it, and we'll be doing everything we can to push Amir into the biggest fights we can see on Sky Sports starting in April. It's great to have you back.
Thank you.
Shah, a few words. We obviously had a few meetings when Amir was in the jungle, and we
Absolutely.
just when it started out, we weren't sure which way it was going to go. But a good plan now to move forward and get Amir back in the ring.
Absolutely. I think, you know, me and Eddie have been talking about this for months, to be honest with you, you know, back and forth. And I think we made the right decision. Amir and I, we had a really good chat about it and everything. And Amir said he wants the best team behind him. And I think having Matchroom behind him and Sky Sports behind him, I think it's a perfect match to get him back to where he belongs, right to the top.
Thank you, Shah. Just to reiterate, obviously the date of the return confirmed as well, and the plan moving forward. An opponent will be announced next week as well. We're looking to box frequently. I think there are so many fighters in world boxing at the moment that just don't have the frequency and the schedule to be able to perform at the highest level. The plan for Amir Khan is to box 3 times this year, 3 times before the end of December. And of course, the big names are out there. Adrian Broner being talked about as well. Kell Brook is an obvious fight. Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman. These are all names that appeal. Danny Garcia, all names that appeal to Amir Khan. I've already seen the names that he's looking at for his return fight. He's looking to move straight back into the mix in the deep level. And we cannot wait to get this journey started. It's very, very exciting times for us, for Sky, and of course for the return of Amir Khan. So we thank you all for coming out today. Amir's going to be available for one-on-ones, as are everybody here on the table as well. And look out for a future announcement next week regarding plans for the show. A huge undercard as well going to be set for this show live on Sky Sports. And it's going to be very, very exciting. Hold on to your hats, because as we know, Amir Khan is one of the most exciting fighters in world boxing. And he's back on your screens very, very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
So we have to say, well done, I suppose, to Eddie Hearn for signing this deal with Amir Khan, especially since Amir Khan not so long ago was saying, I don't like Eddie Hearn. So how did you do it?
Well, have you heard my post-fight interviews? No one likes Eddie Hearn. It doesn't matter. Great business is great business, and this was the perfect move for everybody. Of course, Amir Khan, you know, even taking away I'm a Celebrity, is one of the biggest names in world boxing. With the show, we have great momentum. He has a huge amount left in the sport of boxing. British boxing is absolutely flying. It's been 5 years since he boxed in this country. April 21st, he does it all again. Echo Arena is going to be a huge undercard in Liverpool as well. And we're excited. Some major fights ahead for Amir Khan in 2018.
So just to be clear, did you have to get him ahead of Frank Warren? Is Al Heyman still involved at all?
No, I didn't speak to Al Heyman. We beat off everybody, is it? It's not you know, a secret. Everybody wanted the signature of Amir Khan, and he spoke to people on both sides of the Atlantic. It surprises people, this deal, because probably dating back to the Paul McCloskey fight, we've always had our differences. And of course, the Kell Brook fight is a fight that we've tried to make for years and years. We've always got on, really, face to face. But you know, there's been a lot of things said. I've forgotten most of them because I talk too much anyway. But like I said, this is great business. This is great business to see Amir Khan back on Sky Sports. You know, we are the premier promoters in world boxing. Sky Sports, in my opinion, is the premier platform in world boxing. And Amir Khan is an exciting star, and we're glad and delighted to have his signature with our team.
Let's talk about Kell Brook, because is his nose out of joint a little bit because of this? I mean, you've just signed up his chief domestic rival, probably on quite a lucrative deal. How's he taking it?
No, he's happy. I mean, you know, I've told Kell, we've been talking with Amir for months now, and I told Kell a while back that we're talking. I phoned him and messaged him last night to let him know before anyone else. And he's excited. You know, he doesn't like Amir Khan. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But also, it doesn't take a genius to work out that this brings Brook Khan closer. You know, this brings all the mega fights for Amir Khan much closer. And it's not, you know, this deal isn't a deal to do the Kell Brook fight. But let's be real here. This is a fight we've wanted for ages. This is a fight the British public have wanted for ages. And it's top of the agenda to discuss for the back end of 2018.
Okay. Brook Khan, would that be maybe at 150 pounds, and how soon in the sketch in your mind you're making for Amir's future might it come?
Well, the plan for Amir is to box April the 21st in Liverpool, then box again at the end of August, and then really have the big mega fight in November, December of 2018. So that's when we look at something like a Brook fight. And you know, Kell Brook's got his own business to take care of as well. March the 3rd against Rabchenko, 154-pound debut. That's a tough fight. But now we have Brook going on March the 3rd against Rabchenko. We had Amir Khan on April 21st. His opponent will be announced next week. Hopefully, we can get them two together. The barriers to make that deal in the past was the animosity, was different promoters, different networks. Now we're all together. Doesn't mean it gets done. But you'd hope that now is the best chance we've ever had to get that fight over the line.
Okay. Eddie, just in finishing, give us some names to conjure with about the comeback opponent. Who are you thinking about?
Well, there's lots. I mean, I've seen Adrian Broner bound around. It won't be Adrian Broner in April, but I've sent a number of opponents to Amir Khan and to Virgil Hunter. And, you know, don't forget, Amir Khan hasn't boxed for 2 years. It's my idea the fight should be a little bit easier than Amir's current opponents that he's choosing are, in my opinion. He is going to be moving in at a very, very high level in the welterweight division. He's going to be fighting someone who's seasoned in the States. I'd like him to fight an American as well, and that will be revealed next week. But you can expect a real fight. It's not going to be, you know, some gimme fight. Amir wants to be back at the top level and to prepare himself for the likes of, and let's talk about the other names as well, Kell Brook, Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Adrian Broner. We've got to get back in the mix. There are too many fighters in world boxing at the moment that just aren't active enough. Let's get Amir Khan active again. He's coming back to British boxing at a great time. He's one of the most exciting fighters in world boxing. The big fights are ahead of him, live on Sky Sports.
Great stuff, Eddie. Amir Khan still only 31 years of age. He seems to have been around forever, but maybe his best years possibly still lie ahead. While I've got you here, so quickly a couple of ones. So, Fury Parker, can you bring us as up to date as you can put? Sorry, start again. Yeah. So, Anthony Joshua, Joseph Parker. We know that Mr. Higgins is in town, and possibly Mr. Parker following him at some point. So, bring us as up to date as you can in public terms.
Yeah, David Higgins arrived yesterday morning. He was a bit tired, but we managed to get about 4 hours out of him in the afternoon. Drafting contracts, going through all the points. It's a very complicated process, and you know, these days there seems to be a novel written about the negotiations, so we've got to be a little bit careful. You know, we like to give information to fans, but let's not drag this on. We want to get this done and dusted and announced as soon as possible. Another redrafting today, a meeting after here with David again and our lawyers. We hope we'll see Joseph Parker in town towards the end of this week, and hopeful of an announcement early next week as well. We want all the belts. AJ wants all the belts, and Parker is the perfect fight at the perfect time. It's a great fight between two undefeated world heavyweight champions, and we're close now. We're close. Fingers crossed.
Just dotting I's and crossing T's. Is it that close, or are there one or two impediments still?
I would say that the main crux, you know, generally the issues that break deals are solved and fixed. Crossing the I's and dotting the T's, I think that's a fair explanation, but sometimes the pen doesn't work, so we'll have to see. But there seems to be an understanding from both sides that everybody wants this fight. I was bantering with David Higgins yesterday. They truly believe they knock Anthony Joshua out. It's not, you know, even in question for them, and we feel otherwise. You're going to see a lot of fireworks this press conference. David Higgins has got a lot to say for himself. He's a funny character, and Anthony Joshua doesn't like what Joseph Parker's been saying. This could be the first time we've seen the switch of Anthony Joshua, and I'm excited to see it.
So we're thinking maybe even possibly as early. What's the best scenario for announcing it early? How early could it be announced?
I think there's a small chance of an announcement this week, but you know, I think seriously early next week, and you know, then we have 12 weeks till fight night. Anthony's already ticking over. He's about 2 weeks away from starting full camp in Sheffield. If Joseph comes, he'll be flying to Las Vegas for his camp as well. So, like I said, anything can happen, but we're very confident now.
The other heavyweight figure who stumbled and tried to link him with a Joshua fight in the short term, and that's what he's talking about. I mean, Tyson Fury, of course. He has set the wheels in motion to get his license reactivated. Who's advising him, as you know, and is he being well advised? What do you think his sensible course should be over the next year?
I think Tyson Fury is his own man. He's going to advise himself. He's speaking to everybody. He has a good management company behind him.
Even you, despite what he says about you.
I spoke to Tyson Fury this morning. He even got in contact with Anthony Joshua at the weekend. So we're all talking. And let me tell you, that's a fight that we would sit down now and make for 2018. I mean, I've already seen that he wants 60-40, Tyson Fury, which is not quite the idea that we have. But we are up for making the Tyson Fury fight. It won't be next, because we know what we're trying to do next. We're trying to clean up the division and win all the belts. But if it has to be the one after in the summer, it has to be after that. We are prepared to sit down and make that fight now with Tyson Fury. And Anthony Joshua is as well, because he called me straight after Tyson was texting him the other day. And realistically, Tyson talks about getting in the ring in April and fighting Joshua. That's not going to happen. We can't base our career on a guy that still has, 6 or 7 stone to lose, that doesn't have a British Boxing Board of Control licence, that hasn't boxed for 2 years, we're desperate to see him back. We'll even give him a fight. You know, it's be a massive return. But we are prepared to make the Tyson Fury fight for the summer or for the winter of 2018, unquestionably. But let's see him back. You do not want to go in the ring with Anthony Joshua, having been out of the sport for 2.5 years, and especially in the physical condition he's in at the moment. Tyson Fury is a great fighter. It's a tough fight for Anthony Joshua, but it's one we want. It's one the British public want, and we will make that fight. Make no bones about it. And understand this, Anthony Joshua will fight anyone. He doesn't get the respect that he deserves. He's stepping up. He's 20-0. He's already unified the World Championship against Vladimir Klitschko. Now he's stepping into another unification fight in Joseph Parker. Back in the day, in my old man's days, he would have taken him around the world fighting nobodies. We can't get away with that anymore. We live in a world where the fans are so reactive. We've got to give them what they want. Give Anthony Joshua the credit that he's stepping up, and by his 21st fight, he would have had 2 unification fights for the world heavyweight title. This guy is moving well beyond his time, and he will fight anybody.
Great stuff, thank you. I mean, I have to ask, you've been out the game for, what, 18 months?
Yeah.
You're well set, you've got your look still, you know how hard this business is. Yeah. Why did you need to come back?
I wanted to still win another world title. You know, I want to come back with a big bang. It's been some time being out the ring. I was in the jungle for a TV show, and that's when I thought, you know what do I want in life? I want to become a world champion again. I want to get back in the ring again. I know it's been some time I'm not fought. That was due to my hand injury, and that's one of the reasons I had time to go in the jungle, and I did other things. But I'm not a celebrity. I'm a boxer. I want to be remembered as a great champion. So the best place for me is being in the boxing ring.
Yeah. I mean, I presume you're already set for life. Is finances not a factor then?
No, not at all. No, not at all. You know, I've been quite lucky. I've got a great family around me. That the finance side of it is being looked after really well, and I'm fine. It's just more about, for me, being 31, being at the peak of my career, want to win another world title, and also give it another big shot because, you know, I've spent a lot of time in America. The last 5 years I've been fighting in America. I'm not fighting in the UK for over 5 years. I think it's about time now where I do come back to UK. I put a fight on. Eddie Hearn, working with him, one of the best promoters in the UK, working back on Sky again, which I'm really excited about. So I'm really looking forward to it. And also, you know, looking at the next date, which is going to be the 21st of July in Liverpool. So at the Echo. So I'm really looking forward to it because I've never fought in Liverpool. As an amateur, I fought there a couple of times, but now as a professional, and with boxing being booming in Britain, I think it's time to come back with a big bang.
I mean, there's maybe 1 or 2 defeats you could avenge. Lamont Peterson, Danny Garcia, yeah. Braden Prescott even, maybe. Exactly. I was thinking as a
them back, yeah, imagine bringing them back and saying, look, bringing them to the UK and having those big fights, like the likes of Prescott, like the likes of Garcia and Peterson, who are both, you know, on the same level as me as well, and I'm at that world boxing level. You've got names like Kell Brook there as well. So look, it's all about working with each other, getting the best out of boxing in these next couple of years, and finishing my career off with a big bang.
In terms of Brook, how could that be made given he's moved up to like middle 154? Yeah. You know, I know you 147 is where probably you came out of the jungle a couple of pounds under that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I came back 145, yeah, so I was about 3 pounds under my fighting weight, but I think a fight, looking at a future fight, maybe someone like Kell Brook, I know he's moved up a weight, but maybe that fight could happen maybe later on in the year or something like, you know, because I need to see what weight I'm going to feel comfortable in. And I am still saying I can make 147 pounds. Once I put the muscle on, once I go back into training camp, that's when I'll get a better understanding what weight I want to fight at. But look, I want to be in the big fights. I belong in the big fights, and I want to finish off my boxing career these next couple of years with a big banger. So to do that with one of the best promoters in Britain.
What did he say to you, Eddie? How did it? Because you didn't get on famously before.
No, we didn't really. We had a bit of banter, you know, talking about like how he wanted me to fight Kell Brook, and obviously that fight never used to happen, and so then we used to have a little go at each other. But look, it's business. We're in the business together now, and I think Eddie is definitely going to help. I spent a lot of time in America, fighting in America, being with Al Heyman, being with the boxing promoters over there, with like Golden Boy, but I wanted to come back home. This is where my boxing career started in England, and I'm a British fighter, so I want to fight back in Britain again, in front of my home fans. It's they who made me, you know. So being with the best promoter in England will only help me to get the British fight fans back supporting me again. So, and everywhere I go, you know, I walk the streets in London, in England, and people are always saying, when are you fighting back in England again? It's been 5 years, Amir. And I'm like, look, soon. And I think this is the time now.
Listen, we're a sports station, and it's your professional life, not your private life we're interested in. But, of course, your private life has been quite public.
Yeah.
Are you in a good place in that regard now?
I'm in a brilliant place now. You know, family, I fixed all the issues and everything, and it's time to move forward and put all that behind me and focus on what I do best now, which is boxing. And so I'm really looking forward to now the next couple of years, because the next couple of years are going to be big years for me. Like I said, the family, stuff I had to fix. And that is just something right off my shoulders now, all that pressure and everything. So I am happy. I am in a very good mood now. Being with a good promoter, being with a good TV channel, being back on top of boxing. That's where I want to be now.
Okay, just finally, then, I remember you 14 years ago, I suppose it was, coming back with the Olympic medal. But you're still young, but that's a long career. So what do you think? Are you thinking a couple of years and that's it? Have you set a limit on it in your own mind?
I'm 31 now, just turned 31 last month. I think it's these next couple of years, I'm at the peak of my career now, where I'm going to have the biggest fights. I feel better now than I was 28, believe it or not. Honestly, I feel fit, I feel strong. So I've been now focusing on the right things. The speed is still there. It's like the speed's not slowing down as I'm getting older. So, I've still got my speed, the power, and the hands fixed as well. That was the main, one of my main reasons where I never used to fight as much, because obviously I had the hand injuries, but now the hand's good. I just can't wait to get back in the ring now in July 21st and see how I feel, see how I am in the ring again, and then I can then plan how my future's going to be planned out.
It's great to see you back, healed, looking well. I had some strawberries. I've kept the strawberries well hidden from you.
You have to mention the strawberries.
Light-fingered he is with strawberries, but the most blurring hand speed I have ever witnessed in a boxing ring, and it is coming back to world boxing, which is great for everyone, especially fans in this country.